Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flicks. My name is Chris Wong. Today, happy Chinese New Year's to all you Chinese folks out there who are out celebrating. I am Chinese, but I do not celebrate Chinese New Year. I don't think my family really does that. We're pretty Americanized, I guess. But happy Chinese New Year. And for that, my wife's friend actually had her mom made me some. This is what you call gao. I don't know what it is. Like I remember used to knowing what it is, but I think the last time I've actually, I'm trying to get a piece here, actually tried this like 20 years ago, so, or even longer than maybe 30 years ago. But I don't know. Well, happy Chinese New Year, go. Not bad. Yeah. But anyway, moving on. First of all, let's get into this one first. Paramount Pictures is looking to reboot the Transformers cinematic universe. That's right, Michael Bay is gone bye-bye. He is leaving, and that's probably why maybe he is going to do Lobo instead. But Michael Bay is no longer going to do Transformers 6. There is, however, a Bumblebee movie coming out this year, but is being directed by Travis Knight, the guy who did Kubo and the Two Strings, those types of little animation movies, so that'd be kind of interesting. Haley Steinfeld's in this movie, and John Cena as well. So the question is that movie canon, or are they gonna reboot it after that movie, making this movie kinda irrelevant or just like a one-off per se? But I don't know. So that'd be very interesting. Let me see, what is this article? This article does not say whether Bumblebee is actually going to be part of that. Oh no, okay, so Hasbro stated, this is at the New York Toy Fair, Hasbro's investor stated a new team at Paramount will reset the Transformers live action movie series following the release of Bumblebee the Movies. Okay, so well, that still doesn't really say. Bumblebee live action movie could be the starter for the reset of the Transformers universe, because it's the first movie that's not going to be a Bayformer, right? It's but we'll see what Bumblebee actually looks like. He is a VW bug this time around. It is set in the 80s, and I think I did a couple videos on this. So I am quite excited to see what this Transformers, because we haven't seen a Transformers not done by Michael Bay, so it's very interesting to see one, especially from someone as Travis Knight, and Haley Steinfeld, and John Cena is in it. Of course, John Cena might play that comedic effect as how he's been doing a lot of more comedy nowadays. But I'm really interested to see what direction they go in here. Are they going to be more along the lines of the old-fashioned Transformers? I think people recall that the G1 series, I think, the cartoon one, the one that had the Transformers movie with "You've Got the Touch," that Stan Bush music. That one, is it going to be more along that type and less of the keychain thing going on? But I don't know what's going to happen with that. I actually quite enjoy the Bayformer Transformers for being just an action-packed popcorn bucket filled, just just watching it with my kids who just enjoy just lots of different action set pieces for what it is. The story is kind of like, yeah, but it's just a lot of music, and the music especially is really cool, and the way the special effects are, and how it's like an actual blockbuster movie you pay a ticket to watch in theaters, because of the way it's presented to you, entertained to you by all the effects, the audio and everything, and your seats are rumbling because of the huge explosions and stuff. That's an experience that is mainly for like the movie theaters, right? So it's interesting that what they're going to do from here on out, so I'm really wondering what's going to happen with that. But that's kind of cool. Today, Justin Kroll. Okay, Justin Kroll, he is a variety film reporter, and he's been doing a lot of these, you hear his name pop up through a lot of different like blockbuster movie things that they put out, scoops and things like that. He's a scooper, like the Jeff Snyder and Boris Kid, and it's on Deadline. He's for and he's also talking to Deadline. He did this tweet. He at them all: Lynn Snyder, Boris Kit, Deadline, New York, and El Mayimbe, Mr. Scooper Pants, right? And who used to be, he's now in the rap, but he used to be in Heroic Hollywood, and he usually deals with superhero fandom news. So it's interesting to come out from this guy, another scoop, saying big news coming Tuesday. Let you for sweat. And to Jezebel's claim here that this usually means there's a DC news coming out, and that is very exciting. What to see? What is that going to come out, right? I don't want to get too excited because a lot of times it comes as breaking news, red alert, alert, sirens, and then it comes out and it's like, oh, some guy is making a movie, and it has nothing to do with genre films or something like that. So, but this looks big. And he says it's big news, and he's trying to put one over these other four scoopers, saying he got the take first. So interesting what they're gonna go out and try to figure that out before Tuesday. But Tuesday is gonna come along, and we're gonna get to see what that is. But what could it be? And a lot of people are hinting maybe it's just Shazam Suit reveal. This came from Mr. Batfleck. He's on Twitter, and I don't know who these people are that they're talking to each other, but this one says from Dude 3 hours ago, "Hey man, thanks for taking the time to answer fans' questions. I will not ask when is the suit revealed because I know you get that a lot. I'm only gonna ask you, have you decided when you are gonna reveal it or not? Thanks again." And this person replied back, DAUID, says, "Warner Brothers have already decided, yes. Actually, if someone had managed to snap a shot of the suit last week when we were shooting outside, they would have released an official pic right away. Since we got away with it, they want to do more of an official thing, and it's right around the corner. So I don't know who these people are. I want to think he's actually talking to David Sandberg. Because he says right around the corner, Sandberg, please. But I don't recognize DAUID. I'm only on Twitter. I know him as Pony Smasher, and I think he's Pony Smasher on Instagram as well. So I don't know what name is that. If you guys know, if you guys can confirm who these people are as you're looking in the picture right here, then let me know who they are. But apparently they're teasing that right around the corners is going to be a pic of Shazam Suit. And so you're going back to Justin Kroll's tease about something is coming on Tuesday. That's right around the corner. So could it be that big news coming is the reveal of Shazam Suit? Is the reveal of a Shazam teaser or something? Not teaser. They totally started shooting. I'm sorry. But a shot. Kind of like maybe when we had Henry Cavill, the first shot we have of him was like by the bank cell, and he's like, crouched down like that, something like that in that manner, or like, that tease of Batman first as Ben Affleck as Batman, things like that. I'm really excited because this is a new superhero. We've never seen a new suit before, right? We've had the Justice League movie already, and they're talking about that, but this is the first time in this year that we get to finally see some kind of a new suit of a new person. We already saw Captain Marvel from the Marvel side. Now it's time to see the Captain Marvel of the DC side, and I'm really excited to see what is going to happen with that. I'm also excited to see what kind of news is coming over on Tuesday. What if it's DC? It could be anything from Man of Steel 2 to maybe possibly the Snyder Cut. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a Snyder Cut, but that'd be great. That'd be a dream world where they come out and says, we were wrong. This is the Snyder Cut. We're sorry. We're going to put it back in theaters, and it does really well, and things like that. I don't, yeah, but the Snyder Cut is an amazing conversation right now, as a lot of fans are trying to interpret what that Snyder Cut could be. Right? There's a lot of fans out there. RG Payne at Too Much Pain. This video is a must see. He put this out on Twitter. And it's a YouTube video or edit where Justice League edit of where Clark regains his memories, and he rescored it with the Hans Zimmer and Junkie SL score. So feels it's much more fluid. It has a little bit more emotional impact for that scene where Lois and Clark are in the cornfield. A lot more impact. It ties you back into Man of Steel. It ties you back into Batman v Superman. It's exceptionally beautiful. It's fantastic, and I'll put that in the link for all of you to see later on. I think it's worth looking at, just in a way. It's like a tribute in a sort of way. Also, another scene. This is tweeted out by Azrael at Arc Aureli. Superman's resurrection. Now this is cool too, because he puts the Goodbye My Son and the flight music from Man of Steel in it, and just by changing the music, he hasn't changed anything other than the music, and that makes it much more, it resonates more. It has a much more emotional impact for me, as it actually gives you, makes you remember. You have a mental connection to Man of Steel from before, of just by hearing the music, you have the instant connection of saying, "Oh my God, he's back and he's flying up again." Even though that CG rubbery kind of look to Henry Cavill is not so great, and I think that should be very much worked on. But the way it plays out with the music, it shows you the music. It makes so much of a difference. It makes such a difference, especially when you're continuing from the two movies from before, the Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, to have that connection. Because what this Justice League movie is, it's a good movie. Yeah, I'm gonna admit it's a good movie. It's a good movie for kids. It's a good movie. It's a starter, and it's a very shallow movie. It's like you can watch it, you can put it on, you can watch it, and just forget about it. You know, it's very light in that sense, and it doesn't have that epic feeling as the way it was what Zack Snyder would have done. Like, I wouldn't have thought that, I'm going off and off bases here, but I'm just rambling right now, but I wouldn't have thought that the way this movie CG motion picture, battle ended in a way that it doesn't live up. It doesn't live up to the Man of Steel climactic battle, which is epic beyond. I have not seen anything in that incredible action pieces before in my life, right? And so it doesn't live up to that, the first movie. It doesn't live up to the Batman v Superman, the trio of heroes versus Doomsday. That was epic and awesome. The action was so intense. It reminds me of the Wonder Woman Ares Battle 2, which was also epic and intense. So it doesn't have that epicness to it. It feels so small, and I don't know if that was intended. As you know, pretty much all the Superman scenes at the end of that film in the action pieces was probably put in by Joss Whedon, because you can tell from the face and the mustache and everything. So I can probably say, and even Batman's mask kind of doesn't fit very well for some reason. It was like more like this than this. But I'm sorry, but just to say that I don't think those were the scenes, especially when in the trailers you see that Aquaman and Wonder Woman were seemingly in a warehouse as opposed to that area. So it makes you wonder what the third act really was, right? How dark was it? How action packed was it? How immensely, how long was it, for say? So, and how long was Superman in it? And how was there any Russian family at all? So it makes you completely wonder about that. But that's that connection that's showing that the feeling and the tone is totally different from the two movies before. It doesn't feel the same, but it works as a singular Justice League movie. Like, if this is the first one coming out the gate of a rebooted series, then I think it's fine, and it shows in the numbers too. 600 million. It sounds like a starter movie rather than the fourth or fifth movie down the line. But the connection is what we need, and if the Snyder Cut could show that in terms, it will be a much more better movie. And I want to point out that Sam Parker Meadow at Sam he just realized, and he tweeted to us, "This is Bruce looking at a hologram of Superman created by Cyborg. Look at the orange lines all over it in the trailer." I know we all looked at it as like, Supergirl! You know, I even made a video like, oh, it could be Supergirl, but, you know, we're all wrong. It's not. So it's Superman, and that makes sense because Cyborg does make holographic things out of things, and he just shows it up. And that part, it makes it much darker. You can tell his hair, the way they made that Ben Affleck Batman is the Batman from Batman v Superman. Just like how, you know, the Ben Affleck Batman at the end of Justice League, where he's talking to Clark at the farm, he says bought the bank. He doesn't smile that much, and the way he just looks and the way he acts is more of the Batfleck of Batman v Superman than the Justice League. That's what I see. That's what I can tell just by looking at him, the mannerisms. So this part, you know, this was shot by Zack Snyder. Everything is darker. It's not, the Batcave is not brightly lit. Not all CG looking, as the scene that we got now, where all of them had their normal clothing and are talking about resurrecting Superman. And if the rumors are true, he could actually be seeing what another user had guessed, that what they're seeing is how to revive Superman by looking at his physiology, and you actually see the codex in another way, once again tying Justice League to Man of Steel, having those connections so that you are emotionally invested in Justice League because of your emotional investment to the movies from before. So they took that out, okay? They took out the codex thing. They took out everything about that. The only thing cool about that scene that Joss Whedon did was the connection between Steve Trevor and a little bit of the dialogue between Ben Affleck or Bruce Wayne and Diana, having that in turmoil a little bit interplayed in there, and then have her talking about Luthor making a monster. So there is that connection as well. But I feel like there was a lot more going on there, and that whole part was pieced out differently in this one than what was originally in the Justice League film. It's lighter, it's got more play. You see Aquaman steal something. It just doesn't feel and like what Zack Snyder would have done. So that is also the case there, along with the fight at the end and the codex, the music, the connections between Man of Steel and Batman v Superman and this movie is severed. There's some parts there, but it's mostly severed. That's how I feel about the Justice League after watching it again. It's an enjoyable romp. It's light on its feet, but it's missing that emotional connections, that emotional resonance, with the Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, and that's why you don't feel emotionally invested in this movie. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. What did you guys think about Paramount finally gonna reset Transformers? Do you think Bumblebee is part of that reset button, if you will? Also, what do you think is gonna happen on Tuesday? What is the big news? Do you think it's gonna be even related to DC at all? I hope so. Shazam Suit? Yes. Please bring it on. And what do you think about the connections between Justice League and Man of Steel and Batman v Superman? Do you believe that they should have had at least kept a lot of those connections in so that you feel emotionally vested? Is that why you feel empty watching this Justice League as opposed to what it could have been? Let me know down in the comments below. Let's have a nice conversation about it and let's discuss it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Kung Hee Fa Choi! Happy New Year and have a great weekend. Bye.